contributions, aggressive contributions or moderate contributions, up to the point of designation, you eliminate the whole intentions of this ordinance. Now, I understand your point where you say maybe you're...
No, I disagree with
I
that.
clarify that by making a distinction between when you start negotiating.
If I am in a position and I express interest before negotiation, and I'm still allowed to contribute before negotiation, from the day I start interest, I've tampered the system. Because
presumably there's 5 people interested in developing a property. One owns it.
the minute...
Let's stay with that fact pattern because everything then becomes fairly abstract.
Sir, we have a hypothetical situation. If you express interest, and I'm a substantial contributor, okay, during the point prior to negotiation, during negotiation, I potentially or actually tampered with the process of negotiation. It's difficult to make the argument to say that everything is pure, sincere, and the city is always operating in the best interest of the public. Okay? Now, that's a reasonable approach, and that's why it has to be, if you're going to argue that it's not a year before, because somebody shouldn't have to go through this cumbersome process of returning, which I can appreciate that you said that. At the same time, you can't say that it could go all the way up to the point that somebody gets designated, because you've eliminated the entire intention of the ordinance at that point.
If, in fact, we don't go to the point that they named as a redevelopment, and as you say, it's against the spirit of what they're saying, I don't think a simple phone call is a part of a contract or an agreement between any parties. You know, that'd be, no matter what I ask you, it's not the spirit of the contract, nor has nobody entered into a contract at that particular point to continue any negotiations. All we did was express an interest. You know, if in fact that leads into signing of any city documents, we can have that, you know, as a starting point, you know, up to the point of redevelopment. You know,
I kind of wanted to open up a little bit different.
Well, this is important.
This is important, so we'll get right to
it. Speaks to that ordinance on it, rather than the menu that's there. This is important.
No, I wasn't going to get into all the menu options. I was just, look, we'll stick to this part. But I was going to talk a little bit about the process to say, we had some productive meetings and some members of the public that were part of it and that they were there. You know, the initial, you know, as of a week or so ago, part of the idea was to have a discussion, an open, frank discussion, like I think is occurring now, and then to meet again to see if there was an opportunity to really either amend or clarify some questions. And, you know, one of the things that I think is there is some vagueness here, and frankly, in my mind, there's a little bit of vagueness now, too, because, you know, when, and I'm going to stick to this particular issue, when does the prohibition on contribution begin? And that to me, I don't know if it's entirely clear in every scenario. So certainly, there's an applicable time period, which is defined in one part of the ordinance, being when there's a resolution that starts to designate the area to be in need of redevelopment, right? And then the date of entering into the agreement, right? You can't enter into a redevelopment agreement until you made a contribution in that time period. But then there's also a section that says that the redevelopment agreement will say that you can't take a donation between the first communication and the end of the redevelopment agreement. So I guess the real question is, if there's an area that's already designated to be in need of redevelopment, right? And there's someone who might not know about it, but makes a contribution in January of 2010. Then January of 2011, they are interested in it and they want to acquire it. Is the contribution in January 2010 prevent them from entering into the redevelopment agreement?
So, I would say two things.
Well, what's the answer to that question? I don't know.
If they gave a contribution the year before, the question as far as vagueness goes to the fact that they put a year in there. And I would go back to the point that the stricter, the better. We're doing nothing here. This ordinance and none of this
agreement doesn't stop them from getting a tax abatement or developing property they already own, and you know that there's many properties that do that. So are we passing this just to pass something? Or are we passing something that's really going to teeth? And you know, one of the suggestions that I had is to say that the disclosure could be even stricter. Because one of the things I wanted to point out broadly is that, okay, what does the municipality have the legal right to do? And it seems to me that pursuant to the preemption principles of state law, the municipality can only engage in legislation or promulgate legislation that has not been in the field occupied by the state. There's campaign finance laws on the books that specifically set forth donation limitations, and then they were amended to allow for restrictions of those donation limitations if the municipality is in a contract with an individual. So we saw that we did that in the past, professional services and extraordinary and specifiable services. We're trying to do the same thing here with redevelopment, so we could potentially limit a person who's in a redevelopment agreement with the municipality, limit their donation. But why are we limiting disclosure only to them? We may not be able to limit the amount of contribution of a non-designated developer who's a developer, which I don't know the statistics, but many developers here are. So this is not necessarily the strictest. It may not, I mean, part of the process here is to get the thing done right. I mean, if we wanted to say we did it, so we did it, and, you know, I don't know if that, and that's why that's the way we know about it, talk to the caucus, and I wouldn't mind coming on.
I know I'm late, and I apologize for being late.
We just started.
Okay, but I guess what I need to know is you guys met. There was a group of you that met, correct?
Yep.
What happened with that meeting? That's what I'd like to know. What happened when you guys got together and had a meeting? That's what I'd like to know.
So, I also put this in the letter, which came out late, and let me, I'm going to answer the question. But to reiterate what's and give you a bit more time, we did a couple of things at these meetings. We talked about this specific ordinance, we talked about other possible ordinances, and we said, what's the possible menu to somehow restrict campaign contributions in such a fashion so as to ensure that, both from a perception perspective and also a realistic perspective, contribution will not impact governmental actions. Across the board, with focus on development. And we had already a model ordinance prepared by Citizens Action and presented by Civic JC, the New Jersey City, that we were at Councilman Fulbrook, the first screen that we were looking at. So we did a couple of things. We looked at some other possibilities that are mentioned in this letter that I just referred to, such as, is there a possibility that we can address some of the countervailing interests and problems with previous pay-to-play reforms? What are those countervailing interests and other problems?